So I got these pork chops at my local butcher shop, and I was actually in the aisles looking at seasoning, and I was talking to this gentleman, and what he always does with his pork chops is he uses onion, garlic, and some kind of herb. So I chose parsley, and then he lets it marinate in lemon juice and lime. Never done that before in my whole life, so thought, why not? So this morning I got up and I used fresh lemons and limes, squeezed them, and then put them in here, and I've been flipping them about every 30 minutes because, as you can see, it can't fully soak in there. So I figured it kind of gives it a breather and gives it a chance to soak in. And as you can see here, we have lots of onion and garlic in the middle for the flavor. So we're just I'm just letting all of that sit in there, and we're going to be putting that on the barbecue here shortly. As you guys see here, we have our pork chops that we're about to just put on the barbecue, and just gonna stick it on there so it can get a little color, just like you would do with a steak. You want to sear the outside of it to make sure that it has every that it closes up and you can get all the juices locked in by cooking it and getting it all closed up. I would definitely recommend doing that, making sure that it gets nice and seared.
Not too worried about these random onions and stuff and garlic. It can just smell nice after a little while. But yeah, I just want to get these.
Looking good. So I'm going to move it here on indirect heat. Make sure that we're locking in those juices and throwing them over on indirect heat. And it looks like we have a little fire going there, so I just got to move that away a little bit, and then I can get the lid closed up after. I was thinking about it, and I think I'm actually going to take this leftover juice that I have and just go ahead and dump it on there, so that way I can just give them lots of flavor still and keep them going a bit there. And then I took the leftover garlic and onion and put it on top of these mushrooms I have here, because I plan on having mushrooms and sauerkraut, which I'm going to be cooking in here on the barbecue after this, and show you how I plan on doing that. These have been grilling for about 14 minutes, you know, my regular self. So we're just going to flip it. Ooh, that looks good. Flip it. And just let them sit and cook. You can see how thick they are. So I just really want to make sure that they're going to cook really well. And the grill is definitely still hot. So hopefully when we pick these back up, they'll be nice and done. Yummy pork chops. Well, doing what I do best, which is forgetting that I'm even barbecuing in the first place, I sort of put a little black on them, but I don't have to worry. At least I know they're cooked, and I'm not going to food poison myself or anybody else. So hopefully when my friend comes over later to eat it, he doesn't notice that interesting flavor. But let's get to the mushrooms. We're gonna get these mushrooms cooked down, and then after we cook these down, we're going to add the sauerkraut and see how that all tastes. So the mushrooms are grilling, and this is my favorite thing in the world. It is a jar opener. I call it I don't need a man. The reason I call it that is because I don't need to ask anybody to ever help me open a jar. So as you see, you just place the grips on like so, and you lift, you hear a pop sound, and then I'm gonna put you right here, y'all. Okay, and then just turn and open. I don't need a man. So we are grilling these mushrooms. Sorry, I have a bee chasing me around right now. So anyway, we are grilling these mushrooms on direct heat with the onion and garlic that was marinating with the pork. I thought it would give it a little kick, a little bang. Why not? That's what we're here for, to mix stuff up. So just gonna mix this about, and then I'm just gonna place these like so. So I'm gonna get this sauerkraut in here, just the whole dang jar. There we go. Yummy sauerkraut. All right, and then just going to evenly spread the sauerkraut over the top of the mushrooms so they can get heated up and start cooking a bit. Woo, wee doggies. Smoke in the face, smoke in the face. All right. And hoping that this idea works. I've never ever before have put sauerkraut on a barbecue, but then again, this is like my third weekend of ever barbecuing in my life, so you know, I don't know, I just get an idea and I just go with it. Kind of like the way I am about life. So now I'm just kind of pushing it down into the mushrooms a little bit, mixing them, trying not to lose any sauerkraut through the holes, but at the same time trying to make sure that it all kind of blends and mixes nicely. I don't know how this is all going to turn out, but that's the fun of it all. So, and I think it's probably a good idea that I actually stand here and watch this, because I think it might be a good idea just to make sure I don't keep burning things. I can probably save my pork chops by sticking this on top of it and letting it all rest together and get that sauerkraut flavor possibly kind of infused into the food before I serve it. But lucky for me, my friend that's coming over has lost his sense of taste and smell. Thank goodness he is alive. But I don't have to worry about him tasting that it's burnt, so that's the good thing about all of this. So hopefully this turns out okay. Here are my very sadly burnt pork chops, but at least I don't have to worry about food poisoning anybody. So like I said before, that's a beautiful thing. I know it's cooked. And now I'm just going to place this on the top in hopes that it will hopefully add a little flavor to it, and hopefully the pork chops don't turn out to be too burnt, and hopefully I just rescued them. So just gonna place this on top and then put the foil on it and just let it rest, and let's get those mashed potatoes done.